This is Project Kyle coming to you from Planet BookTube, and I am here for 7 on Sunday. For those of you who did not see my last video, 7 on Sunday is a prompt created by the wonderful G Swizz. It's been a fun little project to have during quarantine, and each week we get a different category to work on. And today's 7 on Sunday topic is underhyped books. For those who know me, they know that I am a slow reader, and unfortunately because of that, I do not have many books in my bookshelf. And for this reason, I was unable to get 7 books that were underhyped. Most of the books I read are popular, and it took a lot of digging to get just 5. However, I figured that was better than nothing at all, so on that note, let's get this started. The first book I want to get into is 172 Hours on the Moon by Johan Hofstad. And yes, I'm aware I probably pronounced his name wrong. 172 Hours on the Moon is a YA science fiction thriller, and it follows the lives of 3 teenagers, Mia, Midori, and Antoine. 3 kids who are being sent into space, and one of them kind of against her will. The story is based upon the WOW signal back in, I believe, the 1960s. Scientists till this day don't know what caused it, and of course that gives writers like us gold to work with. This book was not a masterpiece by any means, but I will say I enjoyed it a lot. It definitely delivers on the creep factor, and it has that unsettling feeling through the entire book. In my first review of the book, I said that the ending wasn't that great, and for the most part, I stick by that. However, I forgot something amazing in the epilogue that kind of makes up for the lousy ending. The lore in this story is phenomenal, and I really don't think it gets the credit it deserves. Next is Runaway Rails by E.A. Katana. This is a historical fiction book that was written by an indie author. As most writers know, it's a lot more difficult for indie authors to succeed and get their book out in the indie world, which is a huge reason to why this book is unknown to most. However, E.A. Katana did her research on the 1940s, and it delivers some very disturbing information about how people lived during that time. The biggest being how men treated women back then, which was horrible. In this book, Kat and her sister Anna flee their house after a domestic violence incident. With very little cash on hand, they resort to train hopping, and illegally live their life inside train cars. Although not the most action-packed book, this story will hit you in the feels. And although it reveals the worst of humanity, it also shows what good, kind-hearted people can do and what impact they can have in others' lives. In the end, the message I got from it was, it doesn't matter who you are or what gender you are. There's good people, there's bad people, and both were seen in this story. And of course, I had to put these in here. The Compound and its sequel, The Fallout by S.A. Bodine. Although these were traditionally published books, I was shocked at how little these were covered by the media. Granted, both stories are quick reads, which I understand that not all readers like, but for me it was perfect. It was fast-paced, it had action, and the character development was amazing. The Fallout was nowhere near as good as the first book, The Compound, but it did continue these characters' adventures pretty good for a sequel. Either way, if you enjoy young adult thrillers, I would definitely recommend these two. And for my 5th and final book, When Stars Burn Out by Anna Vera. Granted, this book is very well known in the indie world. In fact, I'd have to say it was the most covered indie book I have ever seen. Still, as I mentioned before, indie books do not get the coverage that traditionally published authors would. And because of that, it really doesn't get the hype that it deserves. I've said it before and I'll say it again. When Stars Burn Out is the perfect book representation of what indie authors can do, and I would hope that anyone who is getting into the indie genre would give this a read. It's in the sci-fi genre, and being a sci-fi fan my whole life, I feel that Anna Vera did a phenomenal job with her first book. And for a debut novel, that is all you can ask for. And that's it! We are done. My book, Deep Cosmos, is available on ebook and paperback. I will leave a link to the Amazon page below. To all my friends, thank you so much for watching. To like this video, please push the like button, and if you want to see more videos, then consider pushing the subscribe button. On that note, this is Project Kyle signing off. Farewell.